Mally has done everything she can. Mally was the midwife, the layer out of the dead, the one who was the first on the scene when anyone in the village was ill or had an accident. You probably can't make him any worse. I remembered my reading, the effect of the dangerous belladonna when mixed carefully with other soporific herbs. It might at least lessen Vitolf's pain. "I'll come," I said. I put a flask or two in a basket, and some herbs that might stanch bleeding, put on my cloak, and followed Ranald. Vitolf usually lived in a sort of shed at a farm on the outskirts of the village. After the accident, however, they had carried him into the farm kitchen, an enormous whitewashed room with a vast fireplace. They had laid him in the gentle warmth of the hearth, surrounded, ironically it seems to me now, by the steaming kettles, the newly baked bread, and all the symbols of life. Soon after Ranald and I reached the track leading to the farmhouse, I heard the most extraordinary sound. A cat, I thought it must be at first. When I realized what it was, I stood stock still, rigid with shock. What I could hear was a man screaming and screaming, a terrible high sound that congealed in my ears. I did not want to go on. Ranald, however, took my elbow and led me forward, through the knot of farm workers. Something must be done for Vitolf, stranger as he was, and I was the only person around to do it. The terrible injury was hidden by a blanket. The wheel had sliced across his thigh, so all I saw at first was Vitolf's pale, ghastly face under his thatch of yellow hair, and his glittering blue eyes searching desperately for help. The sight of a little girl could not, I thought, give him much feeling of hope. I knelt beside him and put my hand against his cheek, in the way I had often seen Juniper do to people. "I know the pain is very bad," I said to him in English, "but I am going to give you something to ease it. It won't take long." And I gave him the draught. I took his hand and sat beside him, and almost at once the screaming sank to a sobbing, and the sobbing in turn became an enormous sigh. I could feel his tormented body relax.